Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a story you definitely think you know. We're going to peel back all those layers of pop culture to get to the surprising and, honestly, super modern truth of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So, let's get right into it. Right, so this is the image we all have in our heads, isn't it? The horrifying monster pieced together, brought to life by some mad scientist. And this is a moment of just pure horror, straight from Victor Frankenstein's own mouth. He doesn't look at his creation and see a new life. No, he sees a filthy daemon. But here's the thing. This is where the story gets really good. Mary Shelley's novel asks a much more complicated question. It's a question that, frankly, challenges everything we think we know about creation, about our responsibilities, and, what it even means to be a monster in the first place.
To really get the monster, we have to start by getting the world that he came from. See, Mary Shelley's story didn't just pop out of thin air. It was born during a time of absolutely radical, world-changing chaos.
I mean, what's so incredible is just how much was happening all at once. You've got these massive scientific and industrial revolutions going on. You have guys like Luigi Galvani literally making dead frog legs twitch with electricity. Suddenly, the very definition of life itself was completely up for grabs. And in that world, Victor Frankenstein isn't just a scientist. He's the modern Prometheus. He's basically that Greek titan, the one who challenges the gods and steals their fire. But in this new modern story, that divine spark of being, well, that was the strange, new, mysterious power of electricity. Okay, so this brings us to what is maybe the most powerful argument in the whole book. Monsters aren't born, they're made. They're forged out of cruelty and rejection.
And this right here, this shows the central hypocrisy of the whole story. On one hand, you've got Victor, who talks about having the happiest childhood ever. And on the other, you've got his creation, who gets nothing but pure hatred from the very first second he's alive. That gap between them, that's the whole tragedy in a nutshell.
So here's the key takeaway. Victor's real crime wasn't playing God in his laboratory. Nope. It was his total and complete failure as a father, as a creator. It was the rejection, not the experiment, that truly created the monster. And because of that, the creature becomes this incredibly powerful symbol. To some people, he's the proletariat, this new, downtrodden working class created by the Industrial Revolution. To others, he's the ultimate other, an outsider that society is afraid of and wants to cast out. The creature himself even feels like he's both Adam and Satan from Paradise Lost, a being completely and utterly abandoned by the one who made it. So, how did we get from this super complex, philosophical character, to the flat-headed, neck-bolted monster that we all know today? Well, let's follow the transformation. It took about a century of adapting the story, but that deep, philosophical tale was slowly but surely boiled down into a simple horror movie. On stage, it was all about melodrama, murder, and chaos. The early films kept that going, and then, bam, the 1931 classic hits and gives us the look we all recognize, and that really simplistic idea that he was evil because he had a criminal's brain. And this table just lays it all out perfectly, doesn't it? It shows you exactly what got lost. The creature in the novel, he's smart, he's articulate. On screen, a grunting monster. The Victor in the novel is arrogant, guilty, and always dodging blame. On screen, he's often made to look way less guilty. All those complex themes about responsibility, they get flattened into a simple good versus evil fight. Okay, but this is where it all gets really urgent. Frankenstein's warnings about ambition and science, well, they are echoing so loudly in our own time. This isn't just some old book, it's a living, breathing question for us, right now. I mean, just think about the headlines you see every day. Genetic engineering, cloning, AI. These are our modern Frankenstein anxieties. We are constantly creating things we don't fully get, which forces us to ask the exact same question Victor faced. Have we gone too far? Some critics even argue that our technologies, things like artificial wombs, are just a modern version of what Victor wanted to do, to create life without needing women. It's a critique that raises the exact same ethical questions about scientific ego that Mary Shelley was tackling 200 years ago. And that leads us to the final urgent question that Frankenstein leaves us with. We now have powers of creation that Victor Frankenstein could only have dreamed about. But as we stand right on the edge of creating totally new forms of life, both biological and artificial, have we actually learned anything from his mistake?
Have we learned the most important lesson of all, which isn't about the power to create, but about the awesome burden of responsibility?